Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video today. Go through some of the main things that are happening around the country at the moment, especially when it comes to tourism or the lack of tourism in the country at the moment. As we know, the country has recently opened again to tourists, but where are the tourists? That is the question. We'll also have a bit of a chat about what happened yesterday in the comment section. Lots of comments in the comment section yesterday, but obviously people felt the need to express themselves yesterday. Now, I've got a busy day today. I'm off to do the ITV, or the MOT as you call it in the UK, get the car checked, get the little sticker that I need to put on the car. I have to do this every year, so I'm off to do that at the moment. So let's go. Now, as I said, off to do the ITV. It's something that I don't like having to do. But unfortunately, when you've got an old car like this one, more than 10 years old is this car, well, actually, you have to start doing the ITV checks when your car is 4 years old. But this one here, nearly 11. So I have to do it every year. And it's a bit of an inconvenience. As I said, it's not something that I like having to do, but it is compulsory. And if you don't do it, you get a fine. And as of the 1st of next month, the fines are apparently going up, and the whole ITV process here in Spain is going to become a little bit more complicated. So that's why I'm getting this out of the way now. And the other reason I'm getting out of the way is because my sticker is expiring, and there's little cameras around the country that sort of pick up on that. And if you don't have a valid ITV sticker, you get a fine sent in the mail. So that is what I have to avoid. Now, the first thing I'm going to do before I go to the ITV centre is I'm going to take the car for a bit of a run, clear out the cobwebs if you like. This is a diesel car, so they recommend doing that, taking it on the highway and opening the car up a bit and cleaning out the exhaust, the diesel particles, and all of those nasty things that they could pick you up on when you go through the check. All right, so on the highway now, opening the car up a little bit, as I said before, to clear out those cobwebs, to get rid of some of those diesel particles, and hopefully they won't pick me up on that during the test. And we'll have a bit of a chat about what I mentioned yesterday. As I said, Spain opened to tourism again on the 24th. So what was that, last Monday? And people were expecting a few tourists to roll into the country, but I don't think many did. A lot of people were expecting British people to hop on planes and fly down, but as we know, there are restrictions in place which are probably putting a lot of people off having a holiday in Spain this year. Not only the fact that you have to wear a mask everywhere you go here in Spain, that could be one reason as well. A lot of people in the comment section saying that that should be dropped, especially outside and if you are vaccinated. And I probably would agree with that. If people are vaccinated and they're outside enjoying life, you shouldn't have to wear a mask, I don't think. But those are the rules in the country at the moment. And also in some places around the country, the Valencian community, there is a curfew in place. I think they're extending that now. They're pushing it back to 1 a.m. so that businesses can stay open a little bit longer. You can sit out on a terrace, enjoy the Mediterranean weather until 1 a.m. and then you have to get back to your hotel or back to your accommodation. So that also could be putting people off, I don't know. But I expect that things are going to pick up in coming weeks and months. And as I mentioned yesterday, Spain is hopeful that it will be on the green list in coming weeks. That is what the Tourism Secretary said yesterday or the day before. He's optimistic that that will be the case. And of course, that would change things for a lot of people, not having to do that mandatory quarantine on return or mandatory self-isolation on return. And as I said, that could be putting people off traveling at the moment. Lots of people that have second homes in Spain, I think, came down. People that were eager to see their properties, haven't seen them probably for more than a year. And they had the green light to do that. But it's the tourism aspect of the country that is really suffering at the moment. And as we have said on various occasions, Spain is desperate for tourists to return, especially in those very tourist-dependent areas on the Mediterranean coast. Malaga, Alicante, places like that, the islands, the Balearic Islands, the Canary Islands, they need tourists to come back. And it's all still very confusing what's going on around Europe at the moment. As we mentioned yesterday, Germany has a complete completely different criteria to Spain. Spain is opening, Germany is closing. So a little bit strange as to what's going on there. I mean, I can understand it. They're worried about these different variants of COVID-19, especially that Indian variant that everybody is talking about at the moment. They don't want to have another health issue in that country, so they're deciding to not close the borders, but people from the UK, for example, that go to Germany have to quarantine for 2 weeks on arrival. That is not the case here in Spain. People are allowed to come to Spain with no quarantine, no PCR. In fact, if you are from the UK or another European country with a low incidence rate, you don't even have to show proof of vaccination. So different rules and regulations in different European countries. Now, there were quite a few anti-Spain comments on yesterday's video. I don't know what all this angst is against Spain. Lots of people saying that Spain needs to be punished for treating people from the UK badly. Don't know what that's all about. Maybe somebody can tell me what's going on there. Obviously something to do with Brexit and the fact that it's not easy for people to live in Spain anymore. You have to have certain requirements to live in the country, a certain amount of money being earned every month. If you're going to retire here or if you want to come and live here, you have to have a job. So it is complicated to live in Spain at the moment, but as I have said on many occasions, it is exactly the same for me coming from a non-European country. Could there have been some type of agreement between the European Union and the UK with regard to this? Is it different in other countries in the European Union? I don't know. Is it easier to get into Portugal? Is it easier to get into Greece? I have no idea, but a lot of people seem to be very angry with Spain at the moment. I also saw a comment from somebody else saying that a group of travellers from the East Midlands were turned away from their flight the other day. I think that was last week before Spain officially opened. But it's a completely different story now. You're able to fly to this country without any problems, at least at this end. I don't know what the situation is in the UK, but I imagine that if you are allowed to fly to Spain, there should be nobody stopping you. But the other thing is whether flights are taking off or not. Some people have also said that flights are being cancelled. Somebody said that a flight to the Canary Islands that they were booked on was cancelled. Somebody else said that their flight has also been cancelled because basically, I think because of empty flights, not enough people on the flights. So EasyJet, Ryanair, for example, are cancelling the flights directly or postponing them or changing the date. Not exactly sure what's going on there, but basically we can sum this up by saying it's still complicated to travel in Europe at the moment. Now heading to the ITV Centre. We've got two ITV centres where I live here. One is a Spanish-owned ITV, the other is a German-owned ITV. Now I'm going to the German one today. It's where I went last year. I didn't have any problems. And as I said before, I hope not to have any problems this year either, because it is a serious inconvenience when they do pick you up on something and then you have to get it fixed and come back another day. So hopefully I can avoid that. But I'm going to be honest, the car's not in bad shape. Had it serviced a couple of weeks ago, got the oil changed. Tyres seem to be in good condition. I changed those last year. I made sure that all of the lights are working, the indicators, all of those things that you have to do in the test. But we'll see now as I go to the ITV Centre. Now I'm not going to film in the ITV Centre because I did a video a couple of years ago on this process. So if you want, you can check that video out. I'll stick it up here or up here, I'm not sure exactly where, and you can check that out for yourself. But I'm not going to record today, but while I'm in the line waiting, we might have a bit of a chat. We'll see how busy it is. It doesn't seem to be all that busy, so now I'm just going to go in and get the paperwork sorted out, and then when I come back, sit in the queue and have a bit of a chat. All right, so I'm in the queue waiting. I paid for the ITV. I think it was €51.50, I think. Not the cheapest ITV going around. There are cheaper ones. You can get discounts in some of the other ones, but I prefer this one because, as I said, I went here last year and the process was quite easy. They didn't give me any problems, so we'll see what it's like this year. Now, there was a fair bit of discussion on yesterday's video about language learning, whether you need to learn Spanish before you come to Spain or not. My suggestion is that you do need to learn Spanish, a B1 level. And some people ask, what is a B1 level? How do I know if I have a B1 level? Well, you can go to the Common European Framework Reference, I think it's called, and check what the criteria is for each level, or the characteristics, whether you can have a conversation about certain things, what you understand, your reading ability, speaking ability, listening ability, all of those things. And if you meet that criteria, you can classify yourself a B1, or you can do a test, of course. There are different levels, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 and C2. C2 of course is the most advanced, A1 is the least advanced. And to be able to hit the ground running here in Spain, I'd recommend a B1 level. And of course, once you're here and you start practicing, start speaking with people, then your level is going to go up, 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 up. Now I've got one other car in front of me here, and there's a motorbike currently getting tested. So I reckon it's going to be about a 15-minute wait here, hopefully not any longer than that. And the process once you start is fairly quick. I should go through fairly quickly, or at least I'm hoping to go through quickly, because I want to get this out of the way as soon as possible, because I've got other things to do today. Okay, so I'm next in line, and I'll pick this video up again when I finish this ITV process. So see you then. Okay, so there we go, the ITV done and dusted. I've got the sticker for another year. That is out of the way. And it is a bit of a relief, I must be honest. The only thing that he told me to do was clean the front headlights. They're a little bit dirty, so I've got to get them cleaned before I come back again next year. That is if I have this car, because I'm thinking of selling this car. So if anybody's interested in a 2010 Subaru Forester diesel model, let me know. Because to be honest, I'm sick and tired of having to get this sticker every year and having to go through this process. So I might be looking to get rid of this car after 11 years, and it's only got 130,000 K on the clock, so it's in good condition still. So on that note, I'll start to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out as you normally do. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.